This was such a challenging character. I was wondering what it must have taken from you to give that kind of emotion every day. I know you have three children. Were you able to leave it on the set? How did you manage?
Well, my husband was, he read the scripts too, and he said, you should do this because it's fascinating. And he had to do everything. He did all the parent-teacher conferences, and he did all of the dinners and caregiving for the kids because my hours were really long. So it was hard, but he really stepped up. But, he was gone for Game of Thrones for 9 years. So I feel like I deserved a chance.
I love that reply. One of the things that this series highlights is that if you're able to afford to stay home and you choose to do so to raise your kids, it leaves you very, very vulnerable because you then don't have the skills to get back in the working environment. Could you talk a little bit about the vulnerability of women who maybe don't have a job and land up in the position that she did? Because that's basically what happened.
Yes, well, I think divorce laws have changed, since then. And in a court of law in California, anyway, I think the legal system is recognizing more that being a stay-at-home mom is work and constitutes a financial contribution to the marriage. So what happened to Betty doesn't always happen anymore. But I think Alexandra, the showrunner, wanted to explore the the social milieu in the 80s, and then also how Betty grew up in the 50s. And it's what you were saying. She grew up thinking that becoming someone's wife is the end all be all. And once you accomplish that, you will feel fulfilled and you have babies. And obviously she was a normal suburban mother. So I think that's why people are so fascinated by this story, because she was just a normal suburban American mom. And she had money and she had everything you could ever want.
It shows the limits you can be pushed to psychologically, I think, when you're desperate. One of the other aspects that just struck me about the show was the 80s look, the hair, the shoulders. It was, you carried it off so well. Millennials love the 80s, but talk a little bit about the costume, what it did for you, how much you loved it or hated it.
Well, it's my era, so it was very nostalgic for me. And I sent my sister a lot of pictures, and she would write back, "Mom," because I look so much like my mom in the 80s. And it was very nostalgic for me. In a strange way, it was kind of poignant because the first memories I have of my mom and my parents' marriage were really in the 80s. So it was funny that way.
This gave us a lot of room for thought on the role of women, and you really moved me in this. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very, very much.